A car can smell perfectly normal when the doors open, then turn sour the moment the air conditioning starts. The odor might resemble wet socks, mildew, dust, or something vaguely chemical, and it often returns even after the cabin has been cleaned. Air fresheners only cover it. Interior sprays barely touch it. The real source usually hides somewhere nobody can see, inside a dark, damp part of the climate system that stays wet long after the engine shuts off. That is why detailers use several different tricks to attack the smell instead of relying on one miracle spray. The first place to understand is the evaporator. Inside the dashboard, warm cabin air passes across a freezing cold evaporator core. Moisture in that air condenses on the metal fins, exactly the way water forms on the outside of a cold drink. During a humid drive, the evaporator can collect a surprising amount of water. Most drains away underneath the car, but the core itself remains damp. That moisture changes everything. Dust, pollen, skin particles, smoke residue, and tiny organic particles reach the ventilation system every day. When they meet a damp evaporator, they can stick to the fins instead of passing through. Over time, that mixture becomes a comfortable surface for bacteria and mold. The smell does not come from the air conditioner running out of refrigerant. It often comes from microorganisms and contaminated residue living on wet surfaces. This explains why the odor can be strongest during the first few seconds after the fan starts. One popular professional solution is an evaporator cleaning foam. Products from brands such as Liquimoly, ClimaCleaner, NextZet, and dedicated HVAC suppliers use foaming cleaners designed to expand through the evaporator area. The foam is not interesting because it smells pleasant. Its purpose is to contact contamination sitting between the tightly packed fins where ordinary interior cleaner cannot reach. Some formulas focus on detergents. Others include antimicrobial ingredients. The important idea is contact with the actual source rather than perfume sprayed into a vent. But before we keep going, I need to tell you something real quick. My son bet me I'd never hit 1,000 subscribers. He says I'm too old for YouTube and that nobody wants to watch a guy my age. So if this video is helping you out, hit that subscribe button and help me shut him up at the dinner table. All right, let's get back to it. Another category uses aerosol disinfectant products designed for automotive climate systems. These are sometimes called cabin bombs, foggers, or air conditioning sanitizers. A can releases a fine mist that circulates through the interior and ventilation system. The attraction is coverage. Mist can travel through vents and ductwork that towels and brushes never see. But these products have limits. A fogger can reduce odor-causing microbes on exposed surfaces, yet it cannot magically remove thick contamination glued to an evaporator. That is why experienced detailers treat them as one tool rather than the complete answer. Masking fragrance also creates a false sense of success. A strong lemon smell can hide mildew for 2 days without solving anything underneath. Then there is the cabin air filter. It is one of the cheapest parts in the entire climate system and one of the most ignored. The filter catches pollen, dust, leaves, road debris, and sometimes soot before air reaches the cabin. As it ages, trapped material can absorb humidity and begin producing its own stale smell. Premium filters add another layer. Activated carbon cabin filters contain porous carbon that can absorb some odors and gases. Other filters include antimicrobial coatings intended to reduce microbial growth. Brands such as Bosch, Manfilter, Fram, and Mall sell versions depending on the vehicle. None can clean a contaminated evaporator, but a fresh, high-quality filter can prevent old trapped debris from feeding the problem. There is also a much cheaper trick that professionals understand better than most drivers: dryness. Bacteria and mold need moisture. The climate system creates moisture every time the evaporator gets cold. That means odor prevention is partly a battle over how long that core stays damp after driving. Some newer vehicles automatically run blower drying cycles after shutdown for exactly this reason. That idea matters more than any fragrance. A climate system that regularly dries out gives microbes a much worse environment. A system that remains damp for hours can develop odor again even after chemical cleaning. This is why certain cars become famous for musty air conditioning smells despite otherwise clean interiors. Evaporator design, drain placement, humidity, and driving habits can all influence how quickly moisture disappears. Drainage problems can make the situation worse. The evaporator case has a drain that allows condensation to leave the vehicle. When leaves, dirt, or debris block that path, water can remain trapped. A clogged drain may create musty odors, damp carpets, or even water sounds behind the dashboard. No scented treatment can defeat standing water indefinitely. The smell can also come from somewhere completely different. A sweet odor may point toward coolant rather than mold. A leaking heater core can release coolant vapor into the ventilation system and sometimes leave an oily film on the windshield. Burning smells can indicate electrical or mechanical problems. A dead animal, leaves trapped near the fresh air intake, or water leaking into the cabin can create odors that have nothing to do with evaporator bacteria. That is why the forbidden trick is really a collection of tricks. Evaporator foam attacks contamination at the cold core. HVAC sanitizers treat ducts and exposed surfaces. Cabin filters capture incoming debris. Activated carbon helps with certain odors. Proper drainage removes water. Drying strategies attack the environment that bacteria need. Each method targets a different part of the same problem. The biggest mistake is treating every bad smell as an AIR freshener problem. Hanging fragrances, vent clips, and scented sprays can make a car smell stronger, but stronger is not cleaner. In some cases, fragrance mixes with mildew and creates an even stranger odor. Professional detailing usually works in the opposite direction. The goal is neutral air first, fragrance second. There is another reason this matters beyond comfort. A dirty climate system constantly moves air across whatever has collected inside it. Allergens, dust, fungal particles, and odor-producing residue can circulate through the cabin. A clean filter and cleaner evaporator are not glamorous upgrades, but they affect every minute spent inside the vehicle. The economics make the strategy attractive. That is what makes the whole subject feel forbidden. There is no single magic bottle hidden from car owners. The real secret is understanding that air conditioning odor is usually a moisture and contamination problem, not a fragrance problem. Once the source is treated, the filter is clean, drainage works, and the system is able to dry. The smell often stops returning. For more hidden car care science, detailing myths, and overlooked products that actually make sense, subscribe to the channel.